And we're live, friend.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. See, I was chit-chatting with you. I didn't get to like play my little music thing. There you go.
Uh-oh. There we go. Now we're back. We got the music.
There you go. So
What's
tell me all the
your Wednesday?
things.
That's a good question. Today's a meeting day.
Oh.
And just been geeking out on this because there's a lot of stuff happening in the real estate market over the last 4 days with Iran, with rates, with all of the stuff going on. FinCEN kicked in March 1st. And so, just been geeking out on that. What are you
How do you geek out with it? Like, do you run over to like Leo? You're like, hey, did you read this? Or like, do you bounce ideas off of someone, or is it just you and your AI chat bot just like, oh my god, like what do you do?
So I go to several of my favorite sources of like podcasts and reporting and news articles, and it's a AI podcast reports, and spend 3 or 4 hours doing all that. And then, yes, when it's something like huge or exciting, then I'll bounce it off Leo, or I'll call someone and we'll
like, I have to tell somebody. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, the big break. You can't bottle up the breakthroughs. You gotta share them.
No, yeah, I discovered something really cool on Manus today, since you and I have been talking about that, and it just did something really cool, and I got goosebumps, but no one was in the house. And so I'm just like, I can't tell anyone yet. But
what are you finding? I know the timer's going down, but before
sure.
You disappear off the screen, what are you finding with Manus? What do you find? Like, what's it doing right now?
So a lot of it, I would say, here, let me stop this. So I put in, obviously I had like onboarding docs, client strategy goals, and things of that sort. And so I do a lot of reporting, and then I'll say like, okay, where are we headed? Da, 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 and then boop, it spits out the report. And
that's awesome.
Gorgeous. And it follows my branding guidelines, which makes my heart happy. So, yay.
I love that.
Alrighty, sir, all yours.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. This is the Deal Room Live. I see Rob on my screen. I see Sue on my screen. I see Angela on my screen. I see Lauren on my screen. I see Anya on my screen. What's up, team? So good to see each of you. We have a jam-packed day today. I want to first, though, start off. Type in the chat, what the heck are you drinking today? I have to know. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? I must confess, today I woke up very early and I felt great. Went to the gym and I had early morning meetings. So this is coffee number 5, full confession here. But man, it's a beautiful day. So forgive me there.
Is that real coffee or is that decaf coffee? Because 5 coffees, that's a little.
The first 4 were real. This one is half and half. I didn't want the jitters while I was hanging out with you.
That's funny.
It was so funny. And coffee maker last week, Leo said something to me, and he goes, Andrew, something is going on. Like the coffee's not energizing me like it used to. And I said, which one are you drinking? He goes, I didn't know we had decaf in the house. I'd ordered decaf and he didn't know it. He goes, I have been scammed for 5 days straight. He was drinking only decaf coffee and didn't even know it. And so got to get the real stuff going. But Lauren's drinking water. What's up, Lauren? Good to see you. Nani's drinking water. Heck yeah. Elo, good to see you. Tim McKelvey's drinking Coke Zero. Good stuff. Welcome in. So today is the Deal Room Live, and we have a lot to cover. A lot has happened since we were last together last Wednesday. And for those of you who are new here, we are going to start off with a market update, and then we're going to dive into some strategy and live seller calls. And I'm going to be asking for your votes on some things because we are moving in January 1st. We totally revamped the Deal Room. For those of you who have been around, we totally revamped the Deal Room. We brought on the incredible Stephanie, executive producer, who I'm going to be chatting with a little later today, talking about the vision of this and where we're headed. But we are going to, throughout the last month of this first quarter of the year, we're going to be making some additional updates. And I want you guys' feedback and votes for that. And so welcome into the deal room. Segment 1, market update. Segment 2, teaching and live dials. Segment 3, often I'll have a guest come up. And this week, I'm going to be talking about the vision of the deal room. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. So if you're ready, just give me a oh yeah in the chat. Everybody's awake and alive.
Offering captors of Bloody Mary, a lifetime pardon.
We're going to mute some folks.
Welcome. All right. Oh, yeah. We're digging in. So, market update. And this is one thing I'm going to be getting your vote on, by the way, because I geek out on this stuff and I can talk about the market update. But I feel like having in front of me notes from it and giving it to you straight from my notes sometimes make sure I hits the points better. So, we're going to find out from you how you feel about that. So, keep the chats hopping, and I appreciate it. So in the last, 4 days, a couple of massive things have happened. Many massive things have happened. But the first one, the U.S. attacked Iran and went to war with Iran. Oil prices had some increase going on. Mortgage rates that were at 3-year lows, actually almost 4-year lows, started to tick back up slightly. Secondly, the FinCENs, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, it just dropped new rules, and you can make sure you want to get that right. So we're going to talk about that and how to handle that. So if you're doing creative financing or owner finance deals or the boss flow strategies, what I'm about to tell you will be the difference between building a real estate empire or getting knocked out and not staying in the game. So get ready to take lots of notes. So number 1, February 24th, just a few days ago, mortgage rates hit 5.76%, which is the lowest rate we've seen since September of 2022. Refinance applications, you heard me talk about it on the deal room, more than doubled year over year. Buyers were flooding back into the market, and a lot of positive reports were coming out. Now, I'm still very bullish on the real estate market, and especially in the Midwest. I've been preaching Midwest gold rush at you guys for years now. So over the weekend of March 1st, United States and Israel launched one of the largest military operations in modern history. And Monday morning, because of that, after killing Iran's supreme leader and taking out top military commanders of Iran's, Monday morning oil prices jumped, 9%, I think? And mortgage rates went from 5.75% to 5.91% in just 2 days. And I want to point out, I'm going to talk to you about FinCEN. The FinCEN announced new reporting requirements for real estate back in 2023. And here we are, March. We're now in March 2026, and we're in full enforcement period. And here's what most people don't understand. If you're doing creative financing and you don't comply with these rules, you're not only facing fines, but according to the rules that are written out, you could be looking at federal money laundering charges. So not something you want to mess with, which beefs up my case of why you should always close with real estate attorneys. So with Iran going on, with the rates shifting, with as they call it, the affordable housing crisis going on, and with compliance happening at new levels, needing to happen at new levels, it's never been more important to be surrounded by the pros. And that's the first. If there's one takeaway you get from the entire deal room today, yes, we're going to get to live dials. Yes, we're going to go through this entire update, but it would be exactly that. Surround yourself by people who stay on the cutting edge. Because in my opinion, as a one-man or one-woman band with no one surrounding you, it's impossible to keep up. And that's why I geek out on this stuff every single week and surround myself by incredible counsel. Actually talked to 2 attorneys this morning and was reviewing a message from a 3rd attorney going through all of this because I want to make sure I'm bringing you what's up to speed. And, of course, the disclosure to keep all my attorneys happy. I'm not an attorney, don't claim to be, so do your research and hire the pros to do what they do best. Here's the first thing you need to know. The BOI reporting, the Beneficial Ownership Information Reporting, started happening last year, which, by the way, my feedback on that is if you're not familiar with it, Make sure that you are hooked up with one of these crews like PCS, Prime Corporate Services, or KKOS. I like to use these guys because they file things for you and they help keep you on track for a nominal, tiny amount of money. And so they keep you in effect on reporting what you have to report. So there's exemptions, several exemptions they'll walk you through. When it comes, though, to the reporting rules, the FinCEN Act, I want to point out that it all has to be reported within 30 days of closing. All cash transactions, all cash purchases of residential real estate, and all purchases made through LLCs or shell companies, and all transactions involving a transferee who is a legal entity. What's a transferee? That's the buyer. So if you're selling a property to an LLC, even if it's financed, the transaction might still need to be reported. And the reporting rules say that the full names and addresses of all parties, the property address, the purchase price, how it was paid, cash finance, seller finance, private money, etc. If an LLC is involved, the beneficial owners, if the buyer is foreign, if it's part of a series related to other transactions, so much more. This is so important, guys. And I'm pointing this out. And again, I don't expect you to get all of this. I've been geeking out on this for weeks, and I still ain't got it all. The Reporting Act is a big one, and it's a big change. What you need to know is this. Things might take a little longer to close. May have to have a little more patience with your attorneys or your closing title companies, and it's never, never, never been more important than right now to always close with title companies and real estate attorneys. That way they make sure you're protected. So let's talk about how it specifically affects the BOSLO, buy, own, under finance, and sell on lease option. A typical BOSLO structure, for those of you guys who have been hanging out here, know that we buy, own, or finance. We buy, the seller finances us, the seller holds the note. We either pay them directly, or if there's a debt, we pay the underlying debt. And then on the sell side, we lease option the property to a tenant buyer with an option to purchase. They pay an option fee up front. Type it in the chat, NROD, non-refundable option deposit. They pay a non-refundable option deposit up front, monthly rent every single month, which, by the way, we just got to collect another beautiful NROD. Shout out to our incredible team on one of our Indiana properties. We collect a non-refundable option deposit up front, monthly rent every single month, and then when the tenant cashes us out and buys the house, then we collect a back-end payday. So when you're buying on owner financing through an LLC, which if you're newer, you should be buying through an LLC, unless you're using trust, another seminar for another time, that's a reportable transaction. You need to report beneficial ownership of your LLC. The seller might need to report the transaction if it meets certain criteria. The financing structure needs to be documented. And again, I don't expect you to have 4 pages of notes and close this yourself. I expect you to have a page of notes and make sure you're closing with real estate attorneys and that they are the ones who are responsible for making sure that you get them what they need. But I share this because, especially for those of you who have already done some deals, those of you who are brand new, you're going to find, well, gosh, this is just the way it works now. But for those of you who are experienced, you've already done deals, and then you, out of the blue, have your real estate attorney hitting you up or your title company hitting you up for information. You're going, where the heck did this come in? There's a lot of new rules that come into play. So know that they're going to be asking for more documents. I know it sounds like a lot, and it feels like the government is treating you like a criminal when you are just trying to build your wealth. But here's the reality. The penalties for non-compliance of the FinCEN Act are severe, and ignorance is not a defense. The good news is, if you follow the rules and you always close with the real estate attorneys, then that's your best shot at making sure you do everything right. Because everything's documented, everything's transparent, and if anyone ever questions your deals, you show them exactly what you did and why and how it was legal, okay? Very important. Recap of that segment. FinCEN is now in full effect. Don't let that scare you. Just make sure you're intentional and you do things right. All right? Now, the Iran situation. Let's talk about what's going on in Iran and exactly what's happening there. We have, as you hear me say often, a real estate investor, a real estate developer who is president. And he's very pro-business. He is very pro-growth, very pro-real estate. So you can pretty well bet that with Republicans controlling the House and the Senate and backing for most part the president, and the president being a real estate developer, real estate investor, that a lot of the rules that are going to continue to come down and a lot of the pushes are going to be very pro real estate investors. You've heard me talk about in recent weeks the fact that he's very intentional to keep housing prices at a level that doesn't cause the people who are sitting on equity, and maybe they're counting on that for retirement, to suddenly lose out on a bunch of equity. So what do we have to do? We have to make wages increase to catch up. There is inflation. We'll talk more about that another day. So oil prices and go up. Inflation fears went up. Treasury yields went up. Mortgage rates went up. Oil went from $67 to $80 a barrel in just one day. And so I point this out because the Fed was very close to cutting interest rates. They were talking in June and September. And while that's a good perspective, this could shift that. And my belief is with the new, the name just escaped me, with the new Fed chair coming in, Jerome Powell will be out in May. And I believe that we will still be looking at rate cuts. I think there's going to be a lot of hype, though, between now and May. And we may or may not probably won't see any rate cuts until after Powell is out. And I share this because, again, expect the rates to be a little bit fluctuating. But what does that do for us? We are Boss-Low specialists. We buy, owner, finance, sell, lease options. So we're not worried about that in the least bit. When it comes to the spring is causing houses to sell. And I want to point this out. Stephanie, if we could pull up that news article, I want to show you guys this real quick. This is a big one. The top, let me see, is that the right one? Yeah, scroll down a little further. Yes, that is the right one. Thank you. A little more. So right here, I want you guys to see this because when it comes to the markets, I've been yelling at you guys for the last 2 years, the Midwest Gold Rush. Get in the Midwest. Get in the Midwest. It's a market you want to be in. We've talked about Louisville, Kentucky, and Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and Evansville, Indiana, and Kansas City, Missouri, and all of these areas. And proof being, rates, as regardless of what's been happening with rates, the West Coast and the Sun Belt have been experiencing some price correction a little bit. The Midwest markets continue to rise, and the Midwest has solidified its position, the news article on your screen says, as the nation's strongest region, boasting an average year-over-year price growth of 3.56%. The Midwest benefits from having current affordability advantage in many areas. Even as home prices rise in the Midwest, they remain lower than other parts of the country. And in the environment of high mortgage rates, the value proposition in the Midwest remains very attractive to buyers who have been priced out of the West and the South. So this is why you've been hearing me talk about it. We still buy houses in Indiana and Kentucky and all around that area. Several of our people work in Ohio and others in that vicinity, getting houses for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 very commonly. So I point this out because, again, the Midwest Gold Rush is real. So even with spring coming and the house being the housing market still being massively underbuilt, big shortage on building houses, this is an exciting time to be getting involved. I still believe with all of my heart we are in an exciting window of opportunity. So what's happening? Remember the ban on Wall Street buyers buying the homes. So that's pushed some of the bigger buyers, relatively small number in comparison to the market, from continuing to buy up the houses. And so while I don't think that means necessarily bulk fire sales going on, because to the best of my knowledge, that doesn't even have in the executive order a determination of people being required to sell, at least not yet. I think that it's going to be very exciting for those of us who are buying a few dozen houses a year or a handful of houses a year to be able to get an entry point in the marketplace. So the window of opportunity just got a little wider, in my opinion. And I am excited. I'm excited for you guys because we are in exciting times. So You can stop sharing the news article. Thank you so much, Stephanie. So for every one of you on here, here is my word of advice. Get on the phones. Have conversations. Make sure you've built out your vision. What do you want to use 2026 for? Because January 2027 will be here very shortly. And you will either be looking back saying, thank you, God, I used 2026 to build to my freedom number. Or you will be looking back going, crap, I wish I would have used 2026 to build my freedom number. And so make sure that you are taking consistent winning action. All right, we're going to dive into some live seller calls, and I have some notes to share with you, but I want to see, type it in the chat. How's your energy? 1 out of 10. So good to see all of you in the Zoom land. What's up, Judith? What's up, Diana? Marlon? Shobna, what's up? Heather? Leo, good to see you. Tom, good to see all of you in YouTube land. All of you in YouTube land. Type in the chat, how's your energy? I'm going to be reading a few of the YouTube comments. And then also, make sure, if you have questions, type your questions in the chat with a Q in the front of them. That's how Stephanie knows it's a question. Otherwise, it's just a comment. So put a Q in front of them and type your questions in the chat, and I will be answering your questions throughout our time together today.
Well, I do got one question from you. I do believe this is
Beautiful.
Rick. Rick is asking, what if seller puts prop in a land trust and sells me benefits interest? Do I still have to file a FinCEN?
That is an awesome question. And with the enforcement just coming down, Rick, while I like your creative thinking, that's what we do around here. We create creative transaction geniuses. Make sure that you talk to your real estate attorney about that. In theory, it's great. And make sure you talk to your real estate attorney because there may or may not yet be any case law or attorney opinion on that very thing. And I always err on the side of caution when it comes to things that are on this level of gravity, if that makes sense. What's up, Krista? Good to see you. Energy's at 8-ish. Good. We're going to get that to a 10. What's up, Susie? Susie's a 10. Keep them coming. Way to go. Victor's a 10. Lauren, it's so good to see you, my friend. Lauren's a 10. Heck yeah. Energy's high. All right. So I'm going to pull up here these leads that you guys have submitted. By the way, if you're in the coaching community and you're in the Zoom room, you can still submit your leads. We're going to be calling a few leads today and doing our best to get somebody on the phone. And then in addition to that, I have something I think is going to be very powerful for you. I want to give you guys 3 nuggets, 3 writer downers. I'm going to be taking a poll here in a moment and pause for a couple chats after hopefully we get somebody on the phone here.
Quick question. What is FinCEN?
Yep.
Can you elaborate?
Yes. FinCEN is a reporting act. Just Google it, look it up, and talk to your real estate attorney. But in short, it's a financial reporting act. It's a new law that is now being enforced as of March 1st that requires more reporting when you buy a property. So basically, as real estate investors, expect longer close times and probably a few more closing fees. But we do it joyfully because anytime the government does something, it's always a good thing, right? As my grandpa Slag would say, anytime somebody did something he don't like, he'd say, well, they meant well. All right, this is Jane's.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
This is Jane's lead, or it was going to be Jane's lead on Peddlers Run Road. Oh, Roofer Avenue, my bad. All right, we're going to try it again. Jane, I'll need you to resubmit this lead if you're in the house. I'll need you to resubmit this lead with a corrected number. Apparently, the number you gave me is invalid. I'm gonna guess the area code though, and we're gonna try again. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
Hey, Diane, it's Andrew calling you back on the house you was looking to sell. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Um,
Yeah.
you calling about those properties of Jane?
I am. Did I catch you at a good time?
That's it's pretty good, but Franklin's not here right now.
Okay. Um, well, can you tell me about the properties, or is Franklin the main one to know about them? Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, I said, can you tell me about the properties and answer a couple of my questions, or do we need to wait for Franklin to be there?
Well, I can give you some information, and when he gets here, I can look at your phone number on our caller ID and have him return the call
That's
if you'd like.
perfect. So my understanding is there is 3 properties, right?
Right.
Okay. And how much are you asking for all 3 together?
Um, I don't know what he was going to ask for all three of them together.
Do you
We
have the
got-
individual prices?
Well, not on one, 3380.
Yeah.
We had stripped it, took the carpet up, the vinyl, and was fixing to put a new roof on it and everything. So I don't know. My daughter's taking care of that. Me and my husband were in our early 80s. And so we're not doing that much anymore. But let's see, that's 3380 is inside the plantation subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And I don't know what size the lot is. But like I said, it up right now, and it is listed with a real estate agent. I'm not sure the name of the company. I could find out from Franklin what the name of the company is, but it's not ready. She just kind of took it off the market for the time being until we got it fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want anybody to see it the way it was right then, with no carpet, the roof being tore off, and other things.
So I have in my notes that you was asking 200 for that one. Does that sound right?
No, I think that is the point acre
Got
that
it.
doesn't have a house on it. It's potential commercial,
Got it.
and yeah, it's just land.
Okay. And then what are you asking 13,000 for? That's what's that? I see 13,000 here in my notes.
I have no idea.
All right. All right. I've Jane to update the notes. So you have 3 properties. You were asking 200 for the commercial land. You don't know the price on the other 2.
The one that's owned is 2200 Village. I think he was asking $425 for that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a corner lot right there on Salem Road.
Yep.
And it's going to have a red light right there, So it's a potential commercial. We just hadn't filled out the paperwork to go up there and get it turned into a commercial lot. And the other one is 3380 subdivision.
I got that one.
I'll have to check with him to find out what he was asking for that.
And then did I understand right that you guys are open, if we could work out all the details, to maybe do an owner financing if it helped with your taxes?
I don't think so. Like I said, my husband's 81 years old, and he's just wanting to dissolve his company, AFJ Builders.
Yep.
And our accountant he told us that we had to get rid of all our properties to dissolve it because it is a corporation.
Yep.
And to do that, we got to get rid of owner financing, and we got to get rid of the other properties that we own.
Okay. Well, this may be a Franklin question or maybe you. So we buy houses two ways. We either pay cash, and in that case, we want a big discount. We can do that, but we'd want a big discount off of what they would appraise for, or we would buy them on financing closer to what you're asking, but it would, pay you out over a certain agreed time. Is either of those options for you, or are we going down the wrong rabbit trail?
I have no idea. I'll be
right.
glad to have Frank call you. You said
Perfect.
it was Andrew?
Yeah, it's Andrew. Just have Frank call back Jane if you still got her number there. And
Well, we're kind of hard of hearing,
okay,
and Jane talks very low and soft.
I'll tell her to speak up. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, when he gets back, have him give Jane a ring, and those would be the facts that I want to find out, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you. So good talking to you. All right. Bye for now. All right. So Jane, make sure you get back in touch with Diane and Frank and dig in deeper on these facts. You need to know how much is owed on them. If there is a debt, sounds like she doesn't know a lot of the questions. You need to know if they'll take owner financing, and you need to know if they will, the price they'll take. So It comes back down to the same underwriting. And that's something I want to talk about today. And I'm going to point out to you guys, and we'll get to any more questions you have as well. But before time is up today, I want to point out where a lot of people get stuck. I'm going to talk about the 3 places where most people get stuck, which is number 1, how do I know if this is actually a good deal? And how do I know when I'm forcing it, when I'm forcing what's a crappy deal? And then what do you say when the seller says no? That last call, of course, was obviously not the decision maker, at least not the person who had all the facts. So we got to wait till we get a decision maker on the phone, which, by the way, is a writer downer. And then I'm going to talk to us before the day's up about how to never get jammed up on a deal because you don't got the capital. All right. So let's see if we can get somebody else on the phone. We're going to call Veli on. Is Tim McKelvey here? If you're in the Zoom room, Tim, just type in the chat.
Please leave your message for 70.
How about dial them if they don't answer? Got to get somebody on the phone.
Tim's here, by the way.
Oh, cool. So Tim, on these, the notes are very minimal. Just says, hey, asking price is X. Make sure that you have a chat with them before submitting them, and that you put some notes in there, preferably debt, preferably if they said yes to terms, all this opening call information.
Please leave your message.
All right, that person didn't answer. We got some more questions in the chat while I look up the next phone number, Stephanie.
Sure do. This is from Shabna. Shobna, do we need to remind the title company about FinCEN reg and how best to draft the deal, keeping that as reference?
Yeah, I would. I mean, definitely ask them about it. I would, assuming you are working with a competent title company and closing attorney, they darn well better know about it and be the one keeping in compliance. But yes, if I have a call with my attorney, if I'm you, I would definitely say, in your case, Shobna, I know you got a deal in Indiana about to go to close. On that initial call, when you're setting up for closing, I would say to them, hey, how is FinCEN going to affect this, and what should I know?
And on that same note from Julio, what's a good company that you use for attorneys in all the states or most of the states?
Say that one more time.
What's a good company that you use for attorneys in all the states or just most of the states?
So good question. And we have a couple of companies that we recently updated to. One being, we have a great transaction coordinator, Julio, that is they pick the companies and they do a good job of it. And so that's one way that we do it. Secondly, we're connected. Since I do mainly Indiana and Kentucky, I have an Indiana attorney who's represented me for the last 11 years. He's our counsel for basically everything. And I have my favorite Kentucky attorney who works with us on basically everything as well. But when you're outside of those states, you would just have to reach out to my team, and they would be able to turn you on to the national companies that many of our community are working with outside of those states.
Got it. You ready for one more?
Ready for one more.
This is from Irie, who's been joining us on YouTube for quite some time now. So yay.
Hello there.
Irie is asking, how long do you usually request for final payout using Bofslow with the owner? 7 years, 5 years? What's an optimal time frame and a tight minimum if there is one?
It's an awesome question. So something you'll hear me talk about, actually, I'm dialing Dale, Joe, and Judith's lead next in Oakland City. And something that you'll find. Who asked that question, Stephanie?
Irie.
Something you'll find. I talk a lot about this. This is so important. Everybody listening, you're going to want to note this down. The 3 paydays. That is the front. So we want to buy the property for as little down as possible, usually nothing down. Number 2 is the monthly cash flow, the difference between what you're paying the seller and what you're collecting in rent. And the third payday, which is how much equity you got. The third payday is if you bought a $300,000 house for $280,000, I mean, you got $20,000 of equity in the back end. If you bought a $300,000 house for $250,000, you got a bigger back end payday. So now the other paydays can be less stellar. When it comes to the balloon period, is what you're talking about. If a seller says, "How long do you pay me off?" The question the answer I always give is, well, normally we just term it out as a monthly payment till it's paid in full. In other words, life of the loan. But Andrew, what if they say no? Well, I guarantee you will never get what you don't ask for. So ask. Secondly, if they say, "Oh no, I need a balloon," I'll say, "Well, what's the longest you would give me?" And if they come back, often they will. This is a very real scenario, guys. They come back and they say, "Hey, it's 10 years." I'll probably be okay with that. If they come back and they say, "Well, 6 months," I go, "Oh my gosh!" Like, no, that doesn't work. Might as well pay cash, and we'll be back at a cash price. So let's get back to the balloon question, and then I re-engage, and the answer is as long as possible. And assuming it's just a traditional deal, a traditional Bofslow deal, I never like to go below 5 years. Now, if they gave me a bunch of equity, like Kay, we just negotiated a deal, and they gave Kay 40% equity, so we agreed to give them 2 years. Even though they wanted a shorter balloon, we went 2 years, and we wanted longer because we got 40% equity. So all 4 deal points affect the others, but as a generality, never go below 5 years. Good question. All right.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Andrew on the Oakland City property.
Thanks, Andrew. Please stay on the line.
For all my crew on YouTube, if it's your first time here, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been here before, put a 2. I wanna see who my new crew is and shout you guys out. Got to get somebody on the phone. Let's see.
I've got another question for you if you're ready for it.
I got another answer.
This is from Jeff. If you sell on land contract with underlying bank finance, how do you insure the property?
If I sell on land contract with underlying bank finance, how do I insure the property? So I buy owner financing. So if I buy it, I get the deed, I get insurance on it. I named whoever the lenders are as additional insured. So if I buy a house from Lauren and Lauren has a mortgage to Wells Fargo, I would name Lauren as additional insured as well as Wells Fargo. If I am selling on lease option, which is what we do, we are going to have the homeowner's insurance as the real estate investor who holds the deed, who owns the property, and our tenant buyer is going to get a renter's insurance until they pay us out, at which point they'll get homeowner's insurance. Good question. All right, I'm gonna do one more dial, and if they don't answer, I'm gonna give you guys something that you're gonna love. Shift gears on something.
We've got Sean, who's new. We've got Naren, our
Sean?
newbies. James.
What's up, Jeff?
Mantra Girl.
This is Grant on Polster. Wait, I used to live on Polster Drive. That's my house.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
We're going to double dial this guy.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back about the house on Polstr Drive. When do you have a minute to talk? Okay, I gotta look at this. This is Steve. Shout out to you, brother. You send good deals. Now I'm sad I sold my property. I see they're asking 194, and I sold mine next to that for 125 years ago. This is actually, I believe, the house next to the one I used to own. That's
Small world, Andrew.
What's this small world? You're right. It may be two or three houses down, but I think that's the next door neighbor to what I used to own. That's incredible. Awesome. All right, I'm going to show you guys something, and I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. I'm about to talk about vision, and I'm about to dial some more live sellers, but I want to point out, I'm going to talk about the funding before we wrap today because this is so important, and this is what keeps so many people stuck. Let me pull this up for you. I'm going to go here, and I want to go back to this. Some of you guys who have been around a bit, you've seen me do this, and I want to drive home the point. This is so important that anyone literally can get leads today. I am on Facebook Marketplace right now. I am going to type in a location. Good old faithful, because I used to live here. I am going to type in house for sale by owner, and I'm going to go get us a couple cold leads that we'll dial before we wrap today. Who likes that plan? Yes? I went to call in this house. It says seller is me. This must be one of mine. That's funny. All right. Hey there. Interested this property. By the way, all you OGs that are in the Zoom room right now, I challenge you, go do this right now.
I feel like your Claude bot could be doing this too.
It absolutely could. All right, we're gonna do 2 of these, and then we're gonna hop over.
She looks like she's being chased. with the audio off, she just looks like she's being chased. If this had like a black and white filter, it'd be a horror film.
Imagine. Let's switch it up. Let's go Owensboro, Kentucky.
So when you do this, how often do you have the Zoom room do this? Is this like a daily thing, a weekly thing, every hour?
Yes. So yeah, you're right. AI now can do this for you, and for everyone who's on I recommended CRM, they actually get for sale by owners dumped in their CRM for them, with them. But I recommend checking this out, especially if you're in a reasonably populated area, at least 2 to 3 times a week. But if you're in like Louisville or something, heck yeah, daily. All right, we're gonna get somebody on the phone just cold off of nowhere. Nobody's talked to them.
Sending you good vibes, Andrew.
I appreciate it. Got to get somebody on the phone today. I'm gonna need them. Holy cow!
Maybe you need to send them some coffee.
Hello, this is Becky. You're calling about.
Hey, Becky. Call 812-573-0535.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Andrew on Sturbridge. All of these AI pre-screeners is something else.
There's got to be like some type of secret code, like up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, start. You probably don't know that because you don't play video games.
You are correct.
Well,
somebody else put a question in. We got to get some
we
more
do.
energy up.
We have one. This is from
good.
James.
What's up, James?
Can I say it? Are you on the phone?
You can.
Oh, okay. Would you do this in the Vegas area or skip it for a few months and choose elsewhere?
I would first ask why you want to do Vegas. If it's because you live there, then heck yeah. If it's because any other reason, stick with the Midwest. In other words, if you're going to do virtually, do it in the Midwest. But if you live in Vegas and you want to stay close to where you are, then yeah, no downside to Vegas. Just don't expect to get the volume of deals that you might get in the Midwest. You can absolutely make a go of this in Vegas. We got a lot of people in Vegas.
We have
We'll expand our reach here. Call 270-929-4036. Which, by the way, is just real life since they're.
Hello, you have reached Angela.
Sometimes you'll dial for a while and nobody answer the darn phone. Call 270-929-4036. Who here thinks, though, that when you're calling people and they won't answer their phone, that might be a sign of a good reason the house ain't selling? I find that a lot of times the harder the person is to reach, they're not just hard for you to reach. And because of your willingness to chase them down, you get the deal.
no.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you about the house on Kipling. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I was interested in buying it. I had a couple questions. Did I catch you a good time?
Yeah,
Cool. What was your name?
Francisco.
Francisco. What's up, Francisco? Um, you're asking 209 for the house. In my looking at the pictures, it looks like is it newly renovated?
Yes, yes, sir. We just do the flipping there, so it's everything is looking like a new, show like a new.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. How long you had this one?
Probably for like 4 months, maybe.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Francisco. So you're selling it 209. If we agreed on all the rest, the details, like what kind of flexibility is there on the price? I'm not a realtor, so there's no commissions or nothing.
Yeah. Are you interested in buying or?
Yeah, I'd be interested in buying the property. Yes.
Okay. Are you from Owensboro?
I lived in Evansville for years. I live in Louisville now, but I
Okay.
like Owensboro. It'd be buying it for an investment. Let me ask you this: Are you in a position, if we agreed on price and terms, that you could do some owner financing?
Not really at the moment, sir. I prefer to selling, like selling right now because I just got a company that I opened with a guy, and then we just need cash, to start doing the other one, the other property that we got now. So
Oh, you want to sell it too?
yeah, I will sell the other one as soon as it's ready. But for now, we need some money to start putting on the other one.
Okay. Do you have a debt on this one, or is it paid off on Kipling?
That's paid off, sir.
Okay. How much do you need to work on the other one? Like if we could give you some of your money now and the rest later.
Mm, I don't know. I haven't taken a look really to see how much, but
Is it like a 20K rehab or like a 5K rehab or?
maybe more than that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to sell them as a package?
Maybe if you give us a good price.
Okay. What's the address of the other one?
It's on 4th Avenue. You're interested on this one? I can come and show you, and then can start from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be my next step, but I don't want to, waste your time showing it if we're not the same zip code on how the deal would be done. I buy houses two ways. I pick up a handful, a couple deals every single month. And I either pay cash, at a deep discount, just like you're doing with the one you're about to flip, or I will pay, we wouldn't be far apart on what you're asking here, but I would want some time to pay you off on a deal cash sell. So I would need to know, before I drag my butt out there and have you drag your butt out there, if we're going to be able to get a deal done on payments or not. Would you be open if we gave you some money up front and the rest over time? Would that be a discussion worth having?
I don't think so, my friend. Right now, like I said, we really wants to keep going with this thing right now. Like I said, we just working on the other one, and we kind of like looking for the next one so we can kind of move money.
Yeah.
We're just a small company. We just started, so we're kind of do that.
So I don't want to waste your time or mine, and it's okay if you don't. Do you want to sell both of the properties? If maybe we could pay cash for the property that needs work, and then you finance this one to us, or should we just follow up in a few weeks?
Just follow me up in a few weeks, and then we see.
All right,
yes,
sounds
sir.
good. We'll talk to you in a couple. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye for now. All right, so someone to keep followed up. Somebody who said that you talked to this guy,
Miss Joan.
Hello, Joan. She talked to this person. Put down and follow up with him in 2 weeks. The houses aren't moving like we want, and I want to point this out because this is a guy, for somebody who has the patience to do so. This is a guy who can be followed up with consistently, and this could turn to something. Because what happens is, and this is a normal flipper's problem, I want you to understand this. This guy has this deal. He has probably $150,000 of his cash, or his partner's cash, tied up in it. They just bought another house. Now he's in this death loop, sitting on this one, waiting on it to sell to make his profit. but got another one that needs rehab, that he's sitting there also paying taxes and insurance and the yard guy on that one. Well, it's March in Owensboro, so not paying a yard guy right now, but taxes and insurance and all of the crap working on the yard. And he has this going out to the tune of many hundreds of dollars a month, maybe a couple thousand. And every month that goes by, Joanne, he's getting another bill, another electric bill, another gas bill, another yard bill, another something else broke bill, another God knows what. It all happens. The taxes and the insurance keep rolling in. And he's going, crap, dude, I have to lower the price again. I've set on this thing. What is it? I've set on this thing for probably, let's see when he bought it. He bought it a year ago. So he's had this thing over a year. He's been sitting on it for a month trying to sell it. He's waiting to work on his other house. You come along. You are the answer to his prayer. And when he comes back finally and is willing to give you the information on his other property, you might buy the other property, give him a little bit of profit on top, buy it cash and resell it. And in return for taking that one off his plate for a small profit, he might finance this one to you. Because look at his options. He can take this property and keep sitting on it. Every month that goes by, another tax, another insurance, another electric bill, another gas bill, another water bill. Or, and when somebody comes, probably with an agent, that's probably what he's contemplating right now. Should I list it or should I not? Then he's got to pay 6% commissions. Then he's got to, let me see if this is a seller. Then he's got to pay 10% commissions. Then he's got to pay, 6% commissions. Then he's got to pay closing costs. Then he's got to pay inspections whenever inspections come back and they want a new range hood put in for whatever reason. All of these things start adding up. So he's probably going to walk away netting between 170 or 180 in today's market back in his pocket, minus what he has in the property, minus his repair costs and holding costs. So he's probably going to walk away with a net 20 or 30 in the end if he sells it with a realtor the traditional route. You are offering him to walk away instead with a net, let's say he's in it for 150. You're offering him to walk away with a net 50, but just over time and also not have to go, because he's probably thinking, I got to get in my work truck. I got to drive over to this other rehab house. I got to go work on it, just like I just finally got this one done. And he's dealing with this. Now, sometimes that's the business model, and that's what he wants to do. And if so, don't talk him out of it. That's fine. Francisco wants to rehab the house. Let him rehab it. But many times you will find that hot button and solve their problem, and the hot button only gets hotter every single week that goes by. So make sure you're following up with this guy. Know that you're doing him a huge favor if you're able to work this out and buy it from him. And free and clear are my favorite deals to do. All right. I have, we're going to do some more live dials. And before we do, I want to talk to you a little bit about the vision here. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to bring our executive producer that usually is hanging out behind the scenes up in just a moment. She generously offered to hop on today. But before we do all that, we have a short little video of an upcoming live event. Actually, it's not from the event because it hasn't happened yet, but from a recent event showing what we're going to be doing here in just a few weeks in Cincinnati, Ohio together. So if we could show that short events video, Stephanie, before we bring you up and you.
Before I joined DOL, I felt very discouraged and didn't have much confidence at all about doing deals.
Before DOL, our situation as a team looked frustrating.
So before REOS and this event, felt like I was working with outdated information.
Before DOL, my situation looked chaotic, undisciplined.
I decided to come to this event because I'm new to the real estate world. It's such an extensive opportunity.
I decided to come to this event because it was part of the the system package I had purchased and jumped in on.
Right after I joined, my coach immediately, that first day of the Truka workshop, we had to do live calling, live seller calls.
The biggest way DOL has helped us is giving us an idea of what's possible.
This event is really reassuring because I know I'm getting the latest and greatest stuff that's working for not just 1 or 2 people, but 100 people.
Being live here has been just the energy in the room. Everyone is so excited, so helpful. It's like a family type of feel here.
The biggest shift for me since being here live has been the connections and seeing all the pieces fall into place for making this a reality.
The DOL program has helped enhance me to that level. I'm ready to go.
Can we show that other one too? I just want everyone to see it.
As you wish.
Boom. Way to go. So that is my shameless plug for May 15, 16, 17. For all of you in the Zoom room, you already have tickets. You're part of the community. Just send an email today to grow@truka.com confirming your attendance, and we will get you all of the hotel information and the room block while you can still get your discount. For everyone who's watching on YouTube, email grow@truka.com with your name, phone number, and email address, and the team will reach out and get you your tickets handled, give you a call, and get you set up to be able to get your tickets to join us in Cincinnati, where we'll have a great time. And ask those who have been there. It is well worth your effort to get there. You will have some major breakthroughs, I assure you. All right? So if you already have tickets, make sure you're making plans to come. If you don't yet have tickets, grow@Truka, grow@truka.com, and get your tickets now. All right, let's bring up Stephanie. I got more live dials to do. We got more leads to talk to, and who knows, some of these Facebook Marketplace people may come back. But Stephanie, our executive producer, I get to hang out with you every single Tuesday before we go live, and you keep me on track for this show. We launched a whole new version in 8 weeks ago now?
8
January
weeks ago.
1st?
Yeah, goodness gracious.
And
Really?
yeah, if you don't mind, just tell everybody kind of who's the person behind the scenes.
Oh, goodness. I'm the executive producer, AKA I'm a really big nerd when it comes to live streaming. My whole thing is basically how to get our clients to just really captivate on command when it comes to being on camera. And so Andrew reached out and he said, how can I make my live stream much more engaging? And I said, we could do all the things, friend.
Yes. So we are. I want to talk a little bit about, we brainstorm behind the scenes, and I want to get you guys' feedback. Stephanie is a incredible idea machine when it comes to making the live streams fun, engaging, and I want to hear from you guys several things. Number one, if you've been ideating, you're like, I really wish she would talk about this. Right now, the format is simple. It is starting out, it is market updates. Then it is live dials throughout with some lessons taught. And I've got lessons each week I teach throughout for you to get some writer downers and some takeaways. And then I typically bring up one of our community members. And just a couple weeks ago, Lauren and I had a chat. Before that, Steve and I had a chat. Before that, who else was it? Jason and I had a chat, and so on and so forth. We do that most every week. But if you've been thinking about something, ways to improve it, and ways that you would get continued value, I want to share this vision, though. Behind the scenes, when Stephanie and I chat, the heart of the deal room is this. We want to get you, our community, deals. That's number one. And number two, those of you watching on the live stream, those of you on YouTube, we want to get you engaged and start saying, oh, crap, if they can do it, if Andrew's dialing their deals, they're closing deals. If they're dialing their own deals, then I can too, and inspire you. And of course, selfishly, some of you will come over and join us in Zoom room land or the live events, and and you'll become a part. And either way, I just want you to have a better life. Stephanie, what's going on in your brain behind the scenes as we've talked about some sessions, some questions we should be asking the crew for, and ideas that are going through your brain?
I always love the testimonials and the stories, just real world case studies as far as like, this is where I was before, this is how Truka has helped me, and this is where I'm at now. Like the fact that I hear Steve's name after every call, I'm like, man, this guy is killing it. There's like a new lead every week. I'm like, that's actually really fun and amazing. But I do want to tease out to like Lauren, Diana, Anya, Sue, and the rest of the crew. I've been toying around with this idea for Andrew, and he's kind of like dodged me a little bit on it. But I want you guys to say like, would this be fun? Would it be fun to have something like Andrew here, and we just kind of have like this little Jeopardy? Do some type of, he could quiz you on the Market Watch update. Oh, you disappeared. You disappeared. I think that would be kind of fun to put in there, but what would you all like to see within the show to make this a little bit of fun? Keep you engaged, but also taking the notes and doing all the things. I'm definitely open to the ideas. Julio said yes. See, we're going to quiz you.
This is good. And this is the type of brainstorming. And I wanted to bring you guys in on this kind of behind the scenes and just have this chat. And Stephanie, thank you for your constant ideas and growth that you always push for. What's some other things that you have been asking me about that I am going, I don't know, and maybe we should? What's some other things you want to share from behind the scenes with everyone that they can give some feedback on?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so much that you could do. Here's the thing. Andrew does a lot of work behind the scenes to follow up on the Market Watch update. But if you find out something first, I think it'd be really cool just to kind of get your feedback. This is y'all in the Zoom room. If you send it to us, I think it would be kind of cool if maybe you might want to be the remote correspondent, and just like how I usually pull you guys in for the testimonials, you could be the person sharing the Market Watch update. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah, like you could have someone like reporting specifically, this is what's going on in my neighborhood, and this is why I'm going all in. I think that would be kind of cool, because then it forces them to research what's happening in their neighborhood, why they're all gung-ho about it, and just kind of share it with the room, because I feel like that's more of the mastermind piece of it.
I like that thought. I want to hear from you guys. What's going through your mind? Just type it in the chat, all of you in YouTube. If you're new here, and maybe you're going like, this is my first time, I don't yet know the flow, and that's cool. But for those of you who have been around a while, what's been something that stood out to you over the last 8 episodes since we've revamped it, 9 episodes since we've revamped it? I think this is number 10 actually since the revamp. What stood out to you? Is it, oh my gosh, I'm loving the Market Watch update. I would definitely want to continue seeing that. I love the deals, especially when they're my deals. Like, what's the perspective you guys are having? Just type it in the chat. Let's get some interaction. Heather
says,
keyboard.
Yep.
Yes.
I love the fun and interactive, fast-paced, and never a dull moment. Hey, there you go.
That's
We're just
good.
gonna woo-woo.
I like that. All right, we got to get some more. You got to get some coffee. We can't be as silent as sellers today. All right, I'm going to beat up on you a little bit.
Look at that. Diana says, I like the music and the interaction. I'm open to more sound effects. I feel like you've all discovered Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jaws. Back to the Future was another one.
I like that.
Let's see.
Good.
Jane says she's always looking forward to hearing the market update. See, I told you.
Oh, I like that. Way to go, Jane. You did tell me that.
Star Trek. That was another one. Devin. So good. Well, I think it would be helpful to ask them as well, because your Market Watch update is so extensive and it has a lot of like what you think, and how it applies to the market. Would they be interested in seeing that in a Substack and a news? Like, what would you want to ask them about that?
Yeah. So something that we're contemplating, and I'll be totally transparent with you because I love hanging out with you guys on this live stream because I get to feed off your energy and it's fun, and I get to see your beautiful faces for our community every week. For all of our YouTube crew, we get to hang out and it's a blast. And so In fact, we're monetizing now, so like I bet we'll make like 97 cents today from this stream. And so, so keep the comments coming. Get it up to $1. So for each of you though, something that I'm contemplating. So it's a little bit of an inner turmoil right now. Is the market update, being able to put that in an email format, and perhaps every Friday after we've been in a live stream and I delivered it to you, I email out the recap and how it relates. Because you guys, I think, take a lot of notes, but I'm betting you can't write quite as fast as I talk. Unless you type as fast as Leo. He can type as fast as I talk. But unless you type as fast as Leo, you're probably not writing as fast as I'm talking. And then if you got an email and every, let's say Friday, and it was the market update was a huge integral piece, which is exactly what we talk about here. Is there more that we should be thinking about that? Again, this is just brainstorming with the crew. And so for my Zoom crew, what goes through your mind? You're like, I love that idea. You're like, no, I just want to consume it live stream. You're like, yes, I would love both. Almost like the show notes every Friday. What would you like to see there?
This one's from
we
Roseanne.
got more comments on
we do.
Somewhere, don't we?
We're everywhere. I was like, oh, wow. Roseanne saying, emails get lost, but the recap would be helpful. So I know I can go back and find it if she had a question. That would also be cool as like an Andrew bot. Like, what did I miss today? And then this one was really interesting as far as engagement wise, which was, oh yeah, we talked about this. Could we win some money or tools as prizes for the quiz game show?
Yes, Stephanie's been trying to get me to give away money, and we've not done it yet.
See?
But we've got some on the desk here we can give away.
There you go. Is it like Monopoly money or real money?
No, this is real. This is real.
Oh, look at you, fancy. Okay, this is from Robin. I feel like you can learn more if we can see the deal worked up, the notes, and the other stats. So you and I had talked about this. Hold on, this is on my head.
Yes.
Remember I said that we could connect your iPad because there are times when you're like calculating stuff and we see you, but we never see it. But if you're open to the idea, you know, connect your iPad and then we could see how you're doing those numbers or actually show, let's say, your calculator in action. Is everyone interested in that too, or is that just me?
Who likes that idea?
Yeah, let us know. Janet says that she likes hearing you say never take no for an answer. And Sue says how world events are affecting our economy in the U.S. and especially the housing market. Anticipated the rise in gas prices and filled up on Monday. Oh, that's a good point.
That is? Oh, wow. So good to see you, by the way, Sue.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Here's Janet. Let's see the deals worked up and purchase orders.
Like purchase agreements, I assume?
Purchase agreements. Okay, got it. A vote for the iPad hookup.
I like it. Okay.
Oh, look.
That means more work. I know you tried to set
it's
me up.
It's not work. Okay, so Michael, first time, and he's loving it. So that's cool. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, nice. Welcome, Michael. You're in the right place.
Irie said yes for sure. I don't know if that's for the free money or if that's for the iPad, but I say both.
Maybe both. Maybe free iPad.
Oh, here's a good one. Okay, this is like on my head, but love the format. Real world success stories and testimonials are highlighted as powerful motivators. Hearing how members progressed from where they started to where they are now helps inspire others. That's a great one. Purchase agreements filled out.
That's interesting. That's actually a really interesting idea.
Is that on Circle? Is there like examples, templates, or maybe like a tutorial? This is how you would fill out a purchase agreement.
I actually have those. For sure.
So while he's writing, my advice to you is that he's saying like, what would be on your dream list? What would you like to see? What would you like to have happen? So, here's a good one. Bom bom. Andrew and Leo together. Leo, ¿dónde está?
Well, that could be fun.
Can we screenshot this and send this to Leo?
Yes. Let's do it. I'm going to take a picture of this.
Here.
I have suggested this 4 times, and my dear brother just has not been excited about the deal room yet.
Yeah.
And so
We did this really funny skit once for a client where we put a photo of someone, but then we cut out their mouth and then we would just overlay it and we would pretend that we were the ones talking, kind of like a puppet, but it was fun.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yes.
I'm going to show this to Leo. If you're on YouTube, I need your interaction here. We got to get the numbers up. If you're on Zoom, if you'd want Leo to join me on one of these, maybe a podcast vibe, we're sitting here chatting. I need some ammunition to talk him into this. So just put Andrew and Leo. Just put Andrew and Leo. Just put it in the chat. I got to see. If I get at least like 40 of them, I'm going to take a picture of them, and we'll see if we can get him convinced. I'll say the votes are in, brother.
The votes are in. Here we go. Andrew and Leo. Andrew and Leo. Oh, they're so fast. They're coming in.
What were you doing?
You are being summoned.
And YouTube's starting to trickle in too. Well, here we are. All right, this is the proof. I need 3 more on the Zoom, and then I need another dozen on the YouTube.
There you go.
Some of the new people on YouTube is going, "Who's Leo?"
They're like, yeah, they're like, "Who's Leo?"
It's my business partner. We launched this business together. We run the 2 sides in the Truka 8, the 8 categories of life. Leo teaches a lot of business and holistic success and personal growth. He helped me lose 45 pounds, shift my mindset, and actually enjoy my life and business. And has an incredible heart to help others. And I get to teach real estate.
Love.
All right.
I did get, there was a comment here. This one is from Robin. I'm new, but a workup, a calculator, any tools that you do in your head would be helpful instead of only seeing the phone and hearing the conversation. So more tools. Maybe we could have a tool segment. Oh,
that's a good idea.
You and I talked about like the ABCs, but what if we had like a tool of the day or the tool of the week?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, this is good. Anya, I hope you're taking lots of notes because I'm going to want you to put all this into action for me.
We create tasks.
All right, tools. Good. This is very helpful. And any tool, this is good. Okay. So something else I appreciate you for, Stephanie, is that when it comes to this deal room, when it comes to us putting this together, your willingness, and I just want to shout you out in front of everybody because I'll go to come on last minute, and like today, the news article that I shared came out an hour before we went live. And so I sent it to her like 12 minutes before we went live. And like, she's always just like creating new screens and putting it together. And like a pro, you would never know. You would think it was prepared a month ahead of time. So I just want to shout her out for her flexibility and willingness to always be on turning on a dime with us as we grow and as we build this. So any other ideas? This is your time to put your ideas in the chat. This is ideation mode. I just wanted to share with you behind the scenes. I thought it would be a fun time to roll back the curtains so you guys see who's running the show behind the scenes, how we show up, what we do, and how our brainstorming sessions go on Tuesdays as we're working to make this better. Because I intend in the second quarter of the year, I intend April 1st, that we will have a revamped segment in a way that reflects some of the votes and some of the suggestions you guys are making. So just want to get that done so we can use the month of March to prepare that and make the next quarter even more awesome. Stephanie, anything I'm missing?
I mean, honestly, the tool time, this makes me laugh because I'm thinking of like, what was his name? Tim? Someone's going to tell me in the comments. Tool time, but it could be like you and Leo wearing some coveralls and some red flannel. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. Welcome to tool time. And then you show us like how you work out a deal. I think that's very interesting. Lots of great feedback on that. Here's a good one. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Thank you, Heather. Can you demo several lead platforms? So this morning you were rattling off like a couple of things, and even Leo was in the chat like, can we have a list, please? I think having the demo of the several lead platforms, so you've done a couple of times at the Facebook Marketplace, how you would randomly reach out to folks. That would be cool.
That's a very good insight. Okay.
I'll give you one more.
This is most valuable. Team, I appreciate this. I appreciate you guys for this feedback because I think you're going to notice as this shakes out. You know what I always want to do is keep things fun and exciting, and where you know you're going to come back, ask questions, and get to be interactive, and not something that feels boring or overly scripted. And so that's what we work hard to do. And that's what Stephanie kicks me in the butt every Tuesday to make me do. So
You're supposed to wear a suit and tie today for the Market Watch update as like a nice little jokey joke. But here's a good one. So showing the process of sending what documents in different situation and how to cover ourselves. I would, as a visual communicator, I would love to see that as like a flow chart. And there was another comment earlier about how you use AI. So you and I have kind of like bantered in the background about like, hey, how to use AI. So iPhone number 2 says how to use AI for time-saving tasks. So even what you're doing in the Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, you could probably schedule that as a recurring task with your Claude.
absolutely you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's OpenClaw or probably Manus and all sorts of things. So
Yes,
flow
sir.
charts. All right, good. We're gonna get on that. Anya, when you and I meet on our Friday meeting, please remind me. Let's put some SOPs together to create some of this stuff. And April 1st, when we launch, we'll be able to have a lot of these cool tools under wraps for the folks. And the deal room keeps getting better. All right.
Look, we have
I
a
have to
volunteer. I come from a process improvement background, so if you need more help, that's for the visual flow chart. See?
Hey, thank you, Robin. I bet Anya will be texting
I know Anya
you.
was like, excuse me, screenshot. Contact.
That's awesome. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. Well, thank you. And I have to ask, who here is excited to or registered for May event? I have to know. I know several of you are coming. Some of you, Stephanie.
I know.
left.
I did. Did you still need me?
Who's already registered? If you're registered, just put yes or me. If you're not, you can just say not yet. If you can't come, just say I'm coming to some other time. Not yet, but intend to. Good. Heather's. Angela, not yet. Robin, not yet, but working on scheduling. Good. iPhone 2 thinks so. Sue's not sure yet. Tom, not yet. Devin, not yet, but I will. Heck yeah. Or not yet. Good. Lots of folks who are registered. And for those of you who are not registered, Roseanne's registered. James is registered. Diana's registered. Those of you who are not yet registered, email grow@truka.com. Name, phone number, and email. If you have tickets, the team will get you in as a confirmation and get you the room block and the information. If you don't yet have tickets, they'll give you a ring and get you set up with tickets. All right. Russell's already in. Rob's not yet. Susie's not yet. Michael's not yet. All right, good. What a great time. All right, so one more lesson, and then let's see if we can get this person on the phone. I have one more note I want to share with you. Oh, this is a follow-up. Shout out Judith. Oh.
Oh, where and when for the event?
May 15th, 16th, 17th, Cincinnati, Ohio.
If one of my Zoomies want to type that in the chat for me, I could show it on the screen.
Hi, Andrew. I have a
Hello,
quick
it's
question.
Andrew calling you
cool.
back. You had
Hi, Andrew.
you had a house I was interested in buying.
Oh, what was his name?
Tim.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm Tim's partner. You have the house on David Bruce?
yes.
Awesome. You're asking $497. And can you kind of bring me up to speed? Is it investment or what's got you looking to sell? It was a personal home. What's the story?
Well, we listed this last year and we did not renew it. It was listed at $539. And then so the second listing, the same realtor, reduce it. So let's reduce it to 524. So we had it for several months, and we did not sell. There were some offers, but we did not accept the offers. They were very low. And so in November, my husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that.
So we decided to just go ahead and sell it on our own, and we'll be moving once it's sold closer to our children. So I'll have help.
Yeah.
So that's the story. And we had upgraded. We have actually, I put there, it's only over 100K. It's really over 200 as our upgrades. All the HVACs are just brand new. And we had it, we just received the not home improvement, home inspection report. And he was so surprised that for this year, this is almost 250-year-old home. It's pretty solid.
Why do you think it didn't sell in the time it was listed and the offers were so low?
Most of the people are asking are looking for bigger lots. The lot is almost, if you round it off, it's almost 1.5 acres. And you're buying for 2 homes, Andrew. There are not 2 homes, 2 buildings. The building is a little bit smaller than the main building. The main building is over 3,000 square foot. And I got one of the offers we had was trying to offer more, but they want to give us only half first so they can flip it. Because the second building, of the second floor, you can convert and put 2 or 3 rooms in it, bedrooms in it. Downstairs is, I don't know if you have seen the pictures on JLo?
Yes. And you got beautiful flowers, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm a master gardener. Thank you. But the barn, if you see the barn, is gorgeous. The second floor can be converted into 3 more bedrooms. There's water in there. And this used to be our bed and breakfast when we had our farm. And downstairs, that's where, the meeting, gathering place, and we have a wedding venue in the back. And when that person who offered from Florida said, okay, what's the comparison on the square footage? So we are below the average. I got within the 25-mile radius, within the periphery of Charlotte County.
Wrap up. Sean said, do you have any tips on how to raise capital?
I did a lot of 281, and the average is 179 per square foot. Ours is only 161. And as I said, the quality of the building, you cannot buy it with that amount of money. It's really gorgeous, and we've been even featured in the magazines when we were still bed and breakfast. The provisions to convert this into bed and breakfast, there is a new condition now that because we did not live here when we had this as bed and breakfast, we were in the farm. Now a caretaker should live in the property, and that will be a great place there at the barn or the second floor for the caretaker to stay or the owner.
This. If we were to agree on everything, do you still have a mortgage on the house, or you already paid it off?
No, we still have. Yeah, we have.
Okay. About how much is left on it?
I think it's almost 200 still. Yeah.
How much is the payment?
It's almost 2,000.
And that includes taxes and insurance?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a VA loan.
If we was to buy it and take over the debt, pay the $2,000 a month, and then pay you out your, between $200,000 and $300,000 cash to you whenever we resell it, would that be something that would work for you? We buy it now, close on it, take over the debt, and pay you out once we resell it down the line.
Okay, so how much is the total value of that then? So whatever our balance. Did you pay us how much?
Yeah, so if we, let's say, well, let me ask you this. If we agreed on everything, I'm not a realtor, so no 6% commissions or fees, and I would pay the closing
Yeah.
off your side and mine. What's the least you would take on the purchase price? Is there a little flexibility on the total purchase price?
Yes.
Okay.
If you pay us cash.
So if we was to,
It takes 50,000, Andrew, to hold your thought.
Mhm.
It takes 50,000 for us to move.
50,000.
And yeah. And it is what do you call this? We pay off our debt, and then and to buy the place where we'll be moving, we're just buying a box. We cannot in
So if
order
we-
for us
if we was to agree on everything, would you do $450,000 purchase price?
no, we have even a better offer on that.
Okay.
No.
How
Hold on.
close to that would you go?
489 is our lowest one.
489. Okay. So if we was to
So,
buy it,
so we have to remember it was already reduced to 42, down to 42,000. And there's a lot of furnitures we have that we can convey.
so if we was
when we
to buy
agree the
it
price.
for 489 and put 50,000 down now to give you moving money, and then we take over the debt, and then we pay you out the remaining, what is that? Just over 200,000 when we resell it. That would work for you?
During the closing?
So we would buy the house, we would close right away, and in
Mhm.
a few weeks, whatever. And this is if we could, because I need to look at my numbers a little deeper. I'm just seeing if this would work for you. If we gave you 50,000 down the day we close, it would be owner
That
finance.
will be the earnest money. You mean the earnest money?
No, that would be the down payment. So we would buy the house, we would give you $50,000 down payment, not earnest money, down payment. We would take ownership. We would be responsible for maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance, and the monthly $2,000
no.
payment.
I don't think my husband will agree on that.
Okay. You might be asking
Yeah,
why
we-
not.
Because we want the cash,
Okay.
and we want the cash because right away during the closing, the whole amount of money we need. Yes.
Okay. Why do you
And I'm not really worried right now, Andrew, because we had it advertised at Washington Magazine right now.
Yeah.
Because before I only put it in Jello and Facebook, and there's a lot of people. I think the Tim has a 703 number. We used to live in Northern Virginia, and a lot of Microsoft people wants to have a second home, and we're only 3 hours drive from Northern Virginia if you take the Easy Pass.
Yeah.
And
Well, let me
there's
ask you this. So,
over
and
25.
Forgive my interrupting. So,
Okay.
if I know, 2024 it didn't sell at 539, and then in 2025 at 524. How should we just give you a call back maybe in a few weeks or months and see? Because we could probably be in that 490 range with 50 down and taking over the debt, but we wouldn't be willing to, pay $250,000 cash to you up front.
No, that will be because we have another person offer who is also a veteran, and we're just waiting for him because he asked if he can assume the loan from us. It's a VA loan, and I don't know what he found out because he needs to ask the bank about that.
Yeah.
So what do you call this? What we need is really the cash because we really need a place to stay there.
Okay. That's fair enough. We'll just put down and I so appreciate you taking time to explain everything because it looks like a great place, and
it is a great
would
place.
be better to
Yes.
just wait for the right cash out offer because we wouldn't be able to hit your number and be all cash. So we'll call back in a couple
Okay.
weeks and see if anything's changed. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Andrew.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
All right. So, get to the conclusion. I share that with you because the objective there with that lady is to find out what she needs, and in this case, it's realizing that she's had it on the market for darn near 2 years and hasn't sold it. It's a very unique property. It needs a very unique buyer to be able. We're calling Judith's lead now. Needs a very unique buyer to be able to come.
Andrew?
It is. How are you, Sandra?
Oh, it's okay. Everything's fine.
Good. Are we gonna make a deal on this house, or are you gonna keep it?
I don't know. It depends on I guess what you assess after you look at it. Did you say you want to look at it?
I do, but only after we agree on the terms. So what are we at on price now?
Well, seeing as how Taylor is up for 79,000, I think it was when I saw that on Zillow.
Mm-hmm. Did it sell?
I don't know. I didn't even pay attention to how many days it's been on there. So I think it's relatively new because I don't remember seeing it on there before.
Yeah.
Because usually I keep updates on that stuff, especially around that neighborhood. But was that 400 block of Taylor?
Let me ask you this. If we could agree on a price, us paying closing, we're not realtors or anything. Like, where do you actually want to be? Because I like you a lot, and we should get coffee sometime, but I want to bring this deal to a conclusion and either buy the darn thing or whack it.
Buy it or whack it.
Yes.
Keep it or toss it. Keep it or toss it.
Exactly. You know, you see what I'm saying.
And now I've tore up the bathroom floor, like I didn't tear up the floor. I took all the carpet out of it that my tenant put in there, which was a disservice.
Do you genuinely like? Do you want to sell it or do you want to like keep it for a while and rent it? Because
now that I started working on it, I was thinking of just keeping it because nothing seems to be panning out on what I want from it. Okay. Everybody else gets what other houses what they want, but I don't seem to be able to do that with mine. So maybe it's a message from some superpower that I'm supposed to keep it for a while. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. If we was buying it as is in the 60s with 5,000 down and $350 a month over a certain period of time net in your pocket on top of taxes and insurance and maintenance and repairs, like, is that a discussion we should have or we should just toss it for now?
Toss it for now because I need more equity out of it than that.
Okay. That sounds good.
But you're a sweetheart. Maybe we can do some business in the future because I'm still getting older and you're not getting any younger either.
Nope. We're both heading the same direction.
Yeah, but you got a lot of years younger than me though, but still, yeah, we're not getting any younger. So, I mean, at my age, I've definitely got to think about doing something. But I'm definitely looking at options for maximizing the most I can get out of it as far as rentals and stuff. So
yeah,
like professional stays, whatever, because it's not that far from the hospital actually, and it's close to a school, and it's a good, decent neighborhood. One of the better neighborhoods that I have of all the houses I've got. So
absolutely. Okay.
You're sweetie. You have a good day.
You too. Bye. All right. So that one, by the way, that was like the ninth. Shout out Judith. That was like the ninth follow up with that lady that Judith and I have had over the last however many. So that's why you heard me just name the numbers because I knew where we left off last time. And she's a master she's a sweet lady and she's a master at call me back. Let me decide next week. And you notice today, the first thing she wants to do is show me the house. And so understand. And again, I know like Judy, many of you know Judy. I love Judy. She's the type, she'd get in the truck, she'd go out there, she'd make friends with her, and she'd buy the darn thing. I don't have the patience, okay? I got more deals I'm going to go buy. I would just buy more leads. And if I still lived in Evansville and I wasn't hanging out, traveling and doing other things so much, I would do the same thing because it's fun. You get to connect with people and buy houses and get paid really well to do so. So, all right. Do we have any more questions before we wrap today, Stephanie?
I have a question. Oh, Andrew, do you know if you received Vanguard Vaystan's lead that I sent in last week?
Who's talking?
Janet. Sorry,
Hello, Janet.
LaPearl.
I do not know, but I will find out.
Because I called him again just to follow up, and he said that you called him, and I thought, well, I gave it to Marilyn and just had her look at it for me, and then he said you called him. I was like, he did, because this was Friday. Friday afternoon, I was like, we did? So anyways.
Awesome. Resubmit it so we can get to it next week.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Way to go.
I don't know if you had a chance to answer this last time, but it was Andrew. Do you have any tips on how to raise capital? This is my first time on here. This is from Sean, YouTube.
So glad you ask that, Sean. So the 3 notes for today, I want to give you guys. Get ready to take some notes, and we're going to wrap with this. And by the way, for every one of you, Judith, the deal you just sent, Janet, the deal you just sent, just keep following up with these guys like a dog with a bone. They don't answer half the time, but I guarantee you after we're off of here, probably nearly every person I dialed and everyone I texted almost certainly will be calling back. And most of the time, by the way, when I'm dialing on here, just know, like, if it's your lead, run with it. It's your lead. And yes, sometimes if I'm sitting at the office and I have the video in a place where I can, I will sometimes grab the CRM and grab that call and record it and then send it to whoever's it is. But they're your lead to make sure you grab it and run it across the finish line with either myself or your coach. So how do I know if it's actually a good deal? And that is that one of the 3 paydays is incredible or 2 of the 3 is good. What do I do when the seller says no? Whack the deal. You heard me doing that today because these guys, as guys that we've talked to multiple times on those follow-ups. So you heard me be a little more open to whacking the deal a little quicker than I usually would. Versus whenever it's a first time, I'm not going to be that candid and that to the point when it's the very first dial we've had. So by the way, I want to show you guys something today. A few weeks ago, I remember we had like 4 dials, negotiated like 4 deals. I think 4 contracts were ready to be sent out. It was incredible. And that's the way some days are going to go for you. Every deal is like, oh my gosh, everybody's just wants to sell me houses today. And then there's going to be certain days where it is like today. And you do yourself a great favor by getting to conclusions. Because a day like today, I could make myself feel more productive and I could have more longer conversations. Except the same conclusion is going to happen whether I stay on the phone. For example, who here could tell the house I talked to, that $500,000 house I talked to of Tim's lead, I complimented her on her flowers and she talked about the barn and the bed and breakfast. Who here could tell that she has a lot of emotional attachment to that house? Yes or yes? Everybody else notice that? So you realize from all that emotional attachment that she has to the house that you're not going to get anywhere, most likely, and unless you can meet her needs. And the reality says it's 1.5 years of, or almost 2 years of her saying, no offer's good enough. The market's wrong. The realtor's wrong. Every buyer who's called her's wrong. They got outstanding offers that are incredible. They just haven't taken them yet because of et cetera, et cetera. And that, bless her heart, nice lady, but she's full of crap. She's not going to sell you the house. So what do we do? Not right now. We schedule to follow up. Now, unfortunately, during this period of time, you heard her husband has a very urgent and challenging health condition. And so our job as real estate investors is to not make bad deals. It's to be the answer to their prayer. And so one of 2 things that happen. Either she's right and one of the offers come through and they get $250,000 cash in their pocket and they live happily ever after, and God bless them. They move closer to the kids and they get what they needed. Or 2, Tim is going to follow up in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And as things progress, time and circumstance changes every seller's mind. And she's going to go, crap, I should just take the 50 I can get while I can get it from these guys. Now, without going too deep into the weeds of why I was open to even discussing the 50 down, is the reason that this is a very unique and cool property. And assuming it's somebody local, you could find the right buyer. This could be a very great cash flowing property. Like this could be huge for someone who wants to live in that area. But more on that later. We're not going to have time to get into that. So what if I don't have the capital? There is multiple ways to fund deals. And I want to point this out to you. You know what? I see here, I see your lead, Janet. We will call that lead. I did call him on one of the daily dials back when we was doing those and did not get to have a chat with him though. So we'll wrap him before we wrap today. I know some of you guys have to hop. That's okay. Before we wrap today, I'll dial him and we'll see if he answers. So how do we get the money? Well, there is either A, you come up with it, meaning you raise private money, you write a check, you get a business line of credit, you have the cash, you have a retirement account, you come up with the money. That's one way that you come up with the money to close a deal if you need to. Now, there's another way to come up with it, and it's my favorite. And that is partners. Private money partners. Why do I love private money partners? Now, we got a lot of people in the community do private lending. Private lending is awesome. Seller financing is by far my favorite way above all. So you're going to see me. We structure deals. First choice is always seller financing. The seller be the bank, or there's already a debt, take that debt over. And then there's the world of coming up with the money. When I was starting out, I didn't have that ability. Now, of course, it's different. But there's business lines of credit. There's your cash. Every one of you should be seeing what kind of capital you have access to. And when you come hang out with us live at the event, we'll have some of our funding partners there showing you capital, business lines of credit, and access to capital that you have to your business or soon can have if you structure your LLCs and your businesses right. So business lines of credit, personal cash, all of those things. Next, private money partners. We love partnering with our community. I know Judy just partnered with Sean on a deal. I know we partnered with Joe and Judith recently on a deal. I know many other partnerships that happen in the community. Chris, I think, just partnered with another community member. Private money partners, because the experienced partner will often write the check and the newer community member will bring the deal and they get to share in profits. It's a win for everybody. So how do we do that? Now, I could go down a list of ways to raise private money. I've raised private money in the past. I've done those things or created a slide deck. And we've, of course, talked about in great detail all of the ways to protect yourself and the private lenders and structure it in a way where everybody wins. Without going too into the technicals, just understand if you find a good deal and you offer someone else to be partner or funder of that deal, as long as it's a good deal, the money part is quite simple to figure out. If you can't figure out the money part, it's because either A, the deal sucks, or B, your presentation sucks. And so we'll talk more about that when we have time. So know that type it in the chat, my high income skill. This is what this whole deal room is about. How do we help you develop your high income skills? One of my high income skills is to review and look at the market. One of my high income skills is to be able to negotiate deals, single family house deals and bigger deals. One of my high income skills is being able to find non-refundable option deposits on my houses. And so when you build your high income skills, some of you, your high income skills is to run spreadsheets and to build an incredible PFS. For some of you, your high income skill may just simply be the opening caller for buyers or sellers. So learn your high income skills and lean into your high income skills and watch what begins to happen. All right. I know some of you have to hop. For the rest of you who want to hang around another 5 or 10, assuming this guy answers, we're going to call Janet's lead before we wrap today. That's what I'm talking about. That cash register. All right, let's see if this guy answers, Mr. Vigard. South Hancock.
Hello.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back about the Hancock Street house. How you doing? Hey.
I'm good. What's up?
Good. Hey, I think you talked to my partner, Janet. I was just connecting. Can you bring me up to speed on that deal? From my understanding, you built a new house already and you're looking to sell this one, and I didn't have all my facts straight yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm building another one.
Okay. You still live at this one, or you already moved out?
I rented this one out.
Got it.
Now I'm cleaning it up after the renter.
How much was you getting a month in rent?
$2,000.
Okay. And then the tenant moved out?
Yes, in December. I haven't been very aggressive. I've been just, having a few hours here and there. I could work on it.
Okay. And then if we was to agree on all the numbers, I'm not a realtor, so there's no commissions or none of that stuff. What's the least you would take on a purchase price on this?
149.
So you wouldn't take 148?
maybe if you did some work for me, like maybe you took care of the closing or something like that.
Okay. And then typically if we're paying retail like this, we would be buying the house, closing with our real estate attorney, and then we would be paying you out over time. We'll become responsible for the maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance, and then pay you every month till we pay you off that 149 in full. Would that work for you?
To some extent, but that would have to be much more detailed.
Okay. If we worked out all those details, knowing that I would be, how much is your taxes and insurance?
I don't recall any of those numbers.
Okay.
I think taxes there are less than 2,000 a year.
Okay. Okay. So if we was responsible for the maintenance, repairs, the taxes and insurance, what's the least you would accept in your pocket every month until we paid you out the full 149?
I haven't even considered that number.
Okay.
Because I was just looking for 149 from a retail buyer.
Sure. So that number, let's see your tenants. Like, are you thinking like 500 a month, like 1,000 a month? Like
I haven't considered that number.
Okay. What would you consider?
Yeah, all of those numbers sounds very low.
Mm-hmm. So if we used to buy it in the high 140s, pay the closing, and then no commissions or fees. How soon would you be looking to get the thing wrapped up if we agree on all those numbers? And
I'm not prolonging it unnecessarily.
okay. So like 30, 45 days.
Yeah, that would be fine. I mean, every time I go in there and fix something up, if I do something major, I add to the price. That's how I do it.
So how do we come to a monthly payment number? Do you need time to think about it? Is that something?
Yeah, I would have to think about that, and I'd have to think about the sizable down payment also.
Oh, okay. Normally if we pay retail and all closing and no realtor fees or commissions, normally we buy with nothing down.
Yeah, because I could handle all of those things myself. I can handle all the closing documents myself. I've been writing deeds all of my life.
Well, we definitely close with a real estate attorney, so you and I are both protected. But you mentioned sizable down payment. Are you needing cash for something specific, or?
I'd like to pay off, so when I'm building something, I'd like to have enough to do the building.
Okay, and how much is that?
I'm spending 200,000, so.
Oh shoot!
Maybe,
this house don't cover you.
So I'd like to cover as much as possible.
Well, that might be a deal killer for us because, like I said, if we pay retail, we could probably get to your price or real close. We could definitely take it as is, pay the closing and all of that. But as far as the down payment, buying it as is and paying retail, we would like to be in with very little to nothing down.
Well, I would say don't consider anything less than a third.
Got it.
Yep.
So you would be looking for what is that? 50,000.
Something in that order.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And you need that 50 for just to put toward what you're building, or?
Correct.
If we was to give you your price.
Otherwise, it wouldn't matter to me. Otherwise, I'd just fix it up and rent it again,
Yeah. What if you did this? What if you done a refinance? You pulled out 100,000 in cash. I can hook you up with a lender. You put that in your pocket, tax free, I might add. I'm not a CPA, so but that's my understanding of how that would work for you. You put it in your pocket tax free, and then we just buy it for the 149 and take over that new debt, cover all those payments for you. Where you could have 100 in your pocket tax free up front, and then we could also pay you off over time, and we both win. How does that sound to you?
You're close to something that might work.
Yeah. Okay. What would you like my next steps to be?
Well, right now I'm going into an appointment, so how about this? We talk about this tomorrow.
Perfect. I'm going to have my partner give you a call. Janet's going to give you a call tomorrow, and we'll continue this discussion and see, either we'll work it out as a win-win or we'll part as friends, and either way is okay.
Either way is fine.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good appointment.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
All right, Janet, note to follow up with him tomorrow. So, by the way, that was a good way to end this segment. Any questions you have, put them in the chat. I want to point out something though. So what I just done there, and I need you guys to understand this. Type it in the chat. Become the connector. Become the connector. Guys, by being part of the Truka community, you have access. You have connects. That's why at the live event, we fly in one of our, one at least, sometimes 2 or 3 of our lenders who do this type of thing. Why? Because you, Marlon, be on a call with this guy, Janet be on a call with this guy, and the guy goes, no, I need X cash. Well, why do you need the cash? Solve their problem. So notice, we're not going to give him $50K down on this $150,000 house. Heck no. But I'm 100% okay with him going down to the bank, to our lender that we connect him with, refinancing it out, and us taking over his $100,000 debt, and then agreeing to pay him out the remaining whenever we resell it, as long as there's no balloon. So if we solve their problem, you get paid in direct accordance to the size of problems you solve. All right, Stephanie, do we have any more questions, my friend?
We sure do. Let me grab this up for you. Okay. This is an interesting one. What do you do when you're looking for wholesale deals and everyone wants to sell at a market price?
So there is a phrase that you'll hear me say: outbound dial by the thousands or inbound dial by the dozens. And what I mean by that is, if you are wanting to wholesale deals, in your case, Bob Slow is my favorite. Number one, more tools means more deals. So, 2/3, 3/4 of our deals are going to be Bob Slows. And that smaller number, 25 to 35%, are going to be the cheap cash deals that we might sometimes wholesale. So if you're only wholesaling, understand you limited your window, but either you're going to call tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people who want all retail and all cash for their properties, outbound dialing them like crazy, or you're going to buy expensive inbound leads that are expensive, but are motivated sellers because they just Googled or called on I buy houses cash or how to sell my house fast or whatever the thing may be. So number one, I would make sure I'm not solely focused on one median. I would add tools to my tool belt. I would offer payments over time or cash way below value. And then number two, as soon as you're proficient on the phone, and I don't know if you're new or experienced, as soon as you're proficient on the phone, I would absolutely start buying some leads. I'm not talking about big budgets of $10,000 a month if you're new, but I'm talking about if you can put $500 a month toward buying some leads, then do it. Again, as long as you're proficient on the phone. If you're not yet proficient on the phone, go call Zillow and Facebook Marketplace and do all of those outbound free dials until you get proficient on the phone. Then start buying leads, because at that point, it's just math when you have motivated sellers calling you. So awesome questions. Good proficiency on the phone, quality leads.
Great. This one is from Irie. Ooh, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Pardon me 1 second. Okay, I'll put it over here. A while back, you mentioned that for a 1,500 square foot house, typically averaging rehab cost around 20, 40, or 60K, depending on the severity. Has that changed much for wholesale structure if house needs work?
It's not. So good question. And if you want to do quick math, and often this is where it gets into the weeds, right? Because often there's all the nuances. Well, gosh, what about the roof? Well, what about the water heater? Well, what about the HVAC? And there's all these unknowns. But if it's a 1,500 square foot house that needs cosmetic repair, yeah, 20K, that's cool. And if we're Bob slowing it, if it needs cosmetic repairs and the carpets are a little dated or the walls need some fresh paint, probably are going to be able to resell it as is. It's a good, solid home. But in wholesaling, yes, generally speaking, 20, 40, and 60 are some good round numbers that you can contract a deal based on the pictures you've seen and talking to the seller.
Got it. Here's the last one, or you want more?
Keep them going.
How does the private money partnership work? Could you explain now or in our next session?
Yes. A private money partnership. I'll give you the short answer, Shobna, and then happy if you remind me in the next session to go deeper. But ultimately, it works with you and the private money partner agreeing on a certain number and saying, hey, here's where we are. Here's what we'll do. And so usually what that looks like is if someone comes in and writes the check, often if they're only writing the check, they're getting, 20, 30, 40, 50% of the deal. If they're advising or writing the check, it's probably going to be more like 40, 50, 60, 70% of the deal. It depends on everything. And I say it that way, and I know that's a huge range because, Shobna, for example, if you said, hey, I want to be a private money partner, I will write the check and I will help find buyers for the house once it's closed. Well, that's an active role. So now you're not only delivering money, which deserves value, but you're also delivering service to the property. And if you're wanting to borrow on the side of private money partners, then again, it comes back to what's the person on the other side doing, and it just comes down to a fair exchange of value. And whatever you and them agree on, partnerships in as small as 10 or 20% to all the way up to 70 or 80%, depending on the value exchange and what it looks like. And it's whatever you and the person agrees to. There's a lot of nuances, though, I'll get into, and just remind me on the next session.
Thank you. Because if I need money and it's a long-term, what do you call, lease option, then that is what I want to know. How does that work? Is it long-term or how does it? So we have something, if you can take it up next week.
Absolutely. Remind me. I got you.
Thanks.
Way to go. All right. This is good. I appreciate you, team. Thanks for being here. This has been a good deal room. Thank you for your feedback. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being here. Keep submitting deals, keep submitting leads, keep growing, keep dialing. And I will see you on for the Truka community, all the calls between now and then, and for everyone on YouTube. I'll see you next week. Same place, same time. All right. Oh, by the way, next week at this time, I'll actually be in Las Vegas with our Freedom Life Mastermind community. So I'll be coming to you live from the Vegas Palace. All right. Good time.